Cherie's World is brought to you by Less is More Events. Get Lime.
Welcome to Cherie's World. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Cherie's World is going to get really personal today. I am going to introduce you. Well, I can't really introduce you to somebody you already know, but my love of all loves is here. I can't really introduce him any other way. Stay tuned because Mr. Darius McCrary is in the house.
This is Cherie's World.
Making Memories Sale Series. It's a sale that allows families and people in our communities in any city, state, or showtime to attend a series of events at a lower price than most, such as like the Trolls Live, Disney on Ice, the Universal Soul Circus, concerts, sports, and more. Contact Less is More Events at 202-930-3533. Again, that's 202-930-3533. Visit the website, getlimetickets.com. They're on social media, Facebook, IG, Twitter. Less is More Events. Get out and lime. Hey, if you're listening to Cherie's World Podcast on Apple Podcasts and iTunes, please give us a 5-star. Let us know what you think. Leave us a review. I want to hear from you. Thank you.
Would you like to advertise on Cherie's World and have your product placed on Cherie's social media for the world to see? Email us now at cheriesworldpodcast@gmail.com for low introductory rates. Cherie's World Podcast. Get heard.
Welcome to Cherie's World.
You just gonna look that way for the rest of your life.
Ain't she, man?
I ain't never gonna put on no makeup or comb my hair if that's what you're talking about.
You don't need to when you that beautiful.
You see what I'm saying? So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really need to introduce this man to you because if you know me, you damn sure know him. He is the love of my life. You will remember him from Family Matters. But I want to get into some newer things. I want to talk about monogamy.
Love of my life, you are. Love of my life.
You see, that's why I'm wooed and I'm so in love with him. And we're here, Darius. This is Courtney.
Courtney, what's happening, man?
What's happening, brother?
Y'all out there smacking and whacking, man. I appreciate it, man. I love it.
No doubt, bro.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you backing up wifey, man, and holding it down the way you do, man. Every queen needs a king, man. You know, and as kings need to learn to invest more in our queens because they make all kind of moves that they won't allow us to. Ain't that right, King?
Well, you know what? I wouldn't call myself the king in our relationship. I'll probably call myself like the town gesture. Remember the gesture? He's definitely the queen, though.
No.
Well, no, man, but I mean, if you ride with her every week, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not there, you know what I'm saying? I can't be there, so I appreciate you being there, man, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we have to remember a lot of us are, we're out here doing battle, and every battle brings you closer to winning a war. And then we are definitely at war, man, whether we recognize it or not. And people run around panicking over toilet paper. Boy, I ain't seen nothing yet.
Right.
Talk on that.
Why don't they just wash their ass?
That's some that y'all got some real shit to panic over in a little bit that's coming. Toilet paper can't clean up this shit that y'all about to see. But I'm gonna keep it light.
Thank you so much for doing this, Darius.
Anything for you. I was supposed to have done it a while ago, but I've been ripping and running and putting some things together that I'm not at liberty to speak on. Certain things that I cannot confirm or deny. And you know how this game is. Everybody sees us and thinks that we have all the answers, but they have no clue that our answers make no sense because we don't write the book. So,
Absolutely.
2 + 2 does not always equal 4, y'all. I know that you guys are accustomed to arithmetic and mathematics, but this is a science that we can't even explain, especially with this algorithm that they've created today called social media, which is a wonderful and beautiful thing. I enjoy it and I love it, but it's so different. I have talked to several of my friends, and there's a difference between fame and clout. There's a difference between personalities and celebrities. There's a difference between talent and entertainment, because sometimes talent isn't always entertaining.
Amen.
Look at you, they might say, tell a joke. Well, that's not what I do. I'm a funny motherfucker, but that's not what I do. I can sing you a song, and I got to be in the mood to do that.
Amen.
Because I'm an artist.
Well, my thing is always like, you want me to perform on spot, but can you pay my rate? Because if you can't pay my rate,
that's a whole nother conversation.
Nobody's putting on a performance. Courtney asked me right before you got on, he said, how do you know Darius? Did you meet him during Family Matters? And I started giggling and I said, no, we're going to wait for D to come so he can answer that.
Oh, I was macking. I macked Cherie when I started macking to her when she was about 12 years old. She was 12. Because I did Big Shots when I was 10. So yeah, Big Shots was 1986.
7.
I thought I was the shit, man. Because obviously we all grew up watching Cherie. Cherie was one of the few little black girls on TV, man. I mean, which is just so amazing. I mean, you grew up watching Different Strokes and different shows and Facts of Life. We saw Kim Fields do her thing. Kim, I love you. I wouldn't even be in the industry if it wasn't for Kim and her mom, Chip, Auntie Chip, who's one of the greatest acting coaches ever, and one of the greatest African American. And I don't like to say African American, I just for personal reasons, but for all of those of you who really aren't hip to the Moors and hip to a lot of what it is. We call y'all black people. But Auntie Chip is probably one of the greatest black actresses that the game has ever seen. She's an amazing director too. So yes. Cherie, back to Cherie, she was on this show called Punky Brewster, and we all grew up watching Punky Brewster. We loved it. Cherie had her little headbands on and that same little smile, and there was a cartoon. Cherie even had a cartoon because of Punky Brewster.
Embarrass me.
You know what I'm saying? Punky Brewster. You know what I'm saying? So I had the blessing of doing a movie, a feature film. And if you really turn back time and you really, really look at the game, there aren't too many black little boys who opened up and starred in a feature film. So at this point, like I was like, yo, and I really didn't even realize what I had done. I wasn't even paying attention to it. That's why they always say it's not really cool to look out the window when you're in a rocket on the way to the moon, because it might fuck your head up. So I don't really pay no attention to the press kit. I've always been like that. But anyway, back to how Cherie and I met. We ended up with the same agent, and she used to have this Christmas party, and so I really felt like, yo, I got a shot, because Cherie's already on a whole nother level, because her and Punky are besties. This is before the word besties was even invented. They was partners, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, Cherie was that girl. We watched her every week. So I didn't have a show, because in my mind, the only cast that had a real shot at this was somebody who had a consistent gig every week. Even back then, I'm like
12.
I know, baby, but you was already on your legendary status at the time, and you was doing big things, breaking color barriers. I mean, because you had a white best friend on the show, and you was her partner, and was Brandon, and Henry. If y'all had so anyway, I'm gonna shorten this long story up. I was in this movie called Big Shots, and so I was like, I got a shot because I'm a big shot. I'm one of the only little boys ever in history of little black boys to be the star of a movie. So if anybody can shoot this shot, I'm gonna shoot this shot because I already had a crush on it, just like all the rest of you little Negroes did. I know growing up you did too.
Yes.
So I was gonna shoot my shot, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a McCrary. So I'm gonna shoot my shot. So we at the Christmas party and I shot my shot and she didn't shoot me down. And so you know, we would talk on the phone, and I thought it was so cool. This is how you knew Cherie was a real star, because she had her own phone. She had her own line. Not no cell phone, y'all. She had her own line. She had her own private number. Okay.
It stayed the same until 3 years ago, and that's only because I moved out of the state.
And if you knew Cherie, you could call Cherie on her private line. Other than that, you had to call the house line and you had to talk to moms. And that's a whole nother can of worms that wasn't nobody, and most of y'all still ain't prepared to deal with to this day. Don't play. So Cherie and I, our romance began as children, and I would find myself, and that's what I talked my parents into giving me my own line too. I said, hey, I need my own number. I said, I can't have Cherie. Cherie doesn't call the house for me. I can't have Cherie calling the house number. I got a movie out.
You probably got your own line because your mama got tired of me calling her phone.
Yo, I just think I was so fly when Cherie called the house for me. I'd be like, I gotta take this call.
As you should.
And his mama would say, hello, McCrary residence. And I would say, hi, is Darius there? And she would say, is this Cherie like the fruit? You say it every time, and I say, yes, ma'am. And she say, hold on.
Oh, this is so dope.
Oh my God. So little did we know that Cherie Johnson at the time, who was talking to Darius McCrary, was Cherie talking to Scam, would be Maxine talking to Eddie. We didn't know that back then because that hadn't happened yet. Crazy, huh? How that works, huh?
That's a dope.
Like it. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I still marvel at that when I think about it. Wow.
That's why I wouldn't tell the story without you. Like I made him wait. I was like, I can't tell you until he gets here.
Hey, so since we already there, you made me into like a sucker for love. You probably don't even know this, but I know you don't know this, but you made me into like a sucker for love. It was, I know you probably didn't write the line, but it was something you said when I was like 12, 13 years old, when you were playing the character Eddie Winslow. And,
yes.
And I hadn't got none by then. But everybody else was saying that they had got some. So I didn't want to lie and say that I had got none. But you put me onto this line. You told it was a scene where they found out you hadn't scored yet, and so you said you like quantity, I like quality, and I was using that line for a long time, bro.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I gotta give it to the producers of that show, man. They were really great with allowing us to make those lines our own. Okay. They came up with amazing stuff, but I mean, how could you not when you produce shows like Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Punky Brewster, Silver Spoons, Getting By, Full House, I mean, Perfect Strangers. I mean, I could just go on and on about it. Thank you, baby. Yes, all of this, you know. So these guys were just phenomenal, man, with being able to give you these lines, but they were also brilliant enough to understand that they had experience with the Black experience, but they weren't living the Black experience. So they were wise enough to depend on who and what we are and what we were, you know, as Black entertainers, to allow us to make those lines and to rock with us, and allow us to make those moments our own.
Yeah.
You know, so at the time I actually was struggling with a lot, because, man, I mean, there's no manual on how to be a celebrity, man. I mean,
Man, there was all these groupie hoes coming at my husband, man, and I was you know.
that part back then, you know. And so it's funny because life has a way of imitating art, and that line actually spoke to me as well. And that's the cool thing about being able to play such a cool character, is that, you know, I think that there were a lot of us that were able to relate to Eddie Winslow, to Laura, to Maxine. I think the only people probably had a problem relating to, the only character I see was Steve. But he was such a zany character, and Jalil was so good at playing the character that it made us feel sorry for the odd man out, you know. And then he was so great when he played Stefan, you know, that he was able to make that character be something that everybody wanted to reach for, you know. Because
if you ask me, I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you ask me, the Stefan character, for people who don't know, was Darius McCrary. So Jalil would like study Darius, you know what I'm saying? And see, Darius always been smooth. And he did say his name is McCrary, right? So there's something in his blood. When he enters a room, every woman knows. He kind of floats when he walks. So he would come out with these suits on and change his character, and I'd be like, God damn, here go Darius. Darius.
Well, you know, Jay is my little brother. He's my little brother, you know, and I've done my best throughout the years. I mean, to be a good influence on my little brothers, you know, be it Donovan, you know, Tyler, you know, Jalil, you know. So we've spent so much time together. You know, you can't help it but rub off on each other, you know. So.
Now, I'm not gonna like stick on Family Matters, because this is not a Family Matters reunion for y'all that don't know Cherie's World. Like, this is Cherie's World.
Cherie's World.
But we had Sean on the show, who's also Cherie's World. And Sean made it known that you pulled him apart. And I thought it was very sweet, because I never knew you guys shared this moment. You pulled him off to the side, and quote me if I'm wrong, Courtney, because I don't remember the exact words, but you said, Eddie and Waldo have something really special here, and we have a chance to make something out of this.
Yes, that's what I said. Well, you know, I mean, Cherie, you know this. I mean, being in one half of one of the arguably one of the greatest girl power dynamic duos in TV history, Punky and Cherie. You know, there's always that unity that best friends have, Laverne and Shirley, Winnie and Squiggy. And Sean's character, you know, I call Sean the king of the one-liners, which he and Jalil both were so great at being able to take that one line and just really punch it. I mean, not that all of the rest of us didn't have the experience or the ability or talent to do it, but it's just those characters just so left field. What Waldo and Steve, where it's like they were just characters. And Sean has always had the ability, whether it was Peaches, that he played on Girlfriends, which was hilarious, to just take that one-liner and just zing it, you know. And so when they brought the character to the show, people don't remember, Sean was best friends with Willie, who was played by Lorenz. Right. And they were besties, and then Lorenz got a better gig that was paying more money as series regular. I'm getting out behind the scenes. This is what really happened. Willie didn't move nowhere. He didn't go away. His parents didn't get their job. Willie went on to do a show with Red Fox called You Took the Kids, and he was a series regular. So bye-bye Family Matters, because he'd rather have a series regular gig than have a reoccurring gig as a guest star. So he was gone. But Sean was so good that they kept him around. And I really did feel that we would be able to fill a void and to be able to create that besties thing, that magic, and we did. People remember Eddie and Waldo,
It was
as
beautiful.
a dynamic duo. Yeah,
And it was natural.
And it was and that's who we really are. That's my boy. You know that, Cherie. I mean, and he's a great acting coach as well. He's one of the, I mean, as much as I know, Cherie, does her master class. Y'all have probably seen, recently I've been doing my master class.
Yes.
And it's something I was actually reluctant to do.
You didn't even tell me you were going to be close to me. I would have driven to take your class.
No, baby. I need you to come and teach the class with me when we come back. We coming.
I'm trying to take it.
Okay, we'll become. I'm gonna need you to come to class. I need you there. I want you to. I don't want to be a distraction.
I was gonna say I don't want to be a distraction. I want to come. I want to sit in the back, and I want to take.
You're never distraction. You're inspiration. You have always inspired me to do my best at whatever it is, whether it's music, whether it's acting, And part of my whole thing with that masterclass is people tapping into what those gifts that you already have, because a lot of times people, we have, especially in this day and age, people can really be delusional. People catfishing people and people tying. I've seen brothers be wearing fake beards and stuff now, and these brothers got the lace fronts that they can wear and they cut it like it's a real. We can be really delusional. There's something in us that allows us to anchor ourselves and to provide stability. And that's all that we have to tune into, when we are performing, if you would. And that's one of the things that Sean has always been really good at doing. So sometimes I like to get an outside opinion from myself, for what I'm doing, because this business will have you second guessing yourself sometimes. Not that I ever have. I just don't. I don't, because I don't think I care enough to second guess myself.
Sometimes you want another eye or somebody to say, try doing this instead of that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I had to tell my agent a couple of weeks ago. I said, look, I don't feel like hearing no again this month. So I'm not going to be auditioning. I'm going to go hang out in Miami. I don't want to hear no. I want to go out in public where people show me love and they like to say yes to me. So, I mean, because people don't have any idea how many no's that we hear before we get that one yes that can change your life.
Statistically, 100 no's before we get one.
100 no's, they say. But see, for me, I didn't hear no. I got a yes the first audition I ever had, which was a major motion picture. I didn't ask for that. Chip Field saw me. She said that I had the it factor. She said that that she saw something in me. I didn't even know what the hell it factor was. I was just a little kid, bothering people because I was gregarious and had an inquiring mind, and I wanted to know. So I'm backstage. I'm asking her, "Oh my God, you Penny's mama? Is Penny come today?" No, baby, Penny's not gonna come.
He's looking for Janet Jackson, y'all.
That's Janet Jackson played Penny on Good Times. For y'all that's too young to know what that is. But so is Penny sisters with Tootie? No, baby, Penny's not sister. Because you really Tootie's mama. Yes, baby. But her name is Kim. Why do they call her Tootie? They call her Tootie because that's her name on the show. Listen, I told your daddy that you can sit with me, but you're going to have to sit down. You're going to have to watch, and you're going to have to be quiet, baby, if you're going to sit here, because I wanted you to sit with me, because I want you to watch this. Okay, I will. Okay, Auntie Chip. Okay, baby. Okay, all right.
I love
Isn't she amazing? So this went on for weeks at a time, because my dad wrote the music in this play called Don't Get God Started with Marvin Winans, which a lot of people might not know. My father discovered the Winans. He discovered the Winans. He took the demo to Andre Crouch, which got them signed over at Light Records. He brought BB and CeCe down to PTL, which was Jim Baker's Praise the Lord organization in Charlotte, North Carolina. And a lot of people don't know the story, but they really didn't want Uncle BB, but Pop Winans was no joke. And he was like, if you take CeCe, you got to take BB. But Uncle BB was too black to be on network TV singing Praise the Lord. And so my dad had Uncle BB turn his back and back out. And he told him to turn around and to sing to everybody and to turn around. And when he turned around, it was already too late. They couldn't tell the Sounds of Blackness know, and they became BB and CC, and then they did the song Lord Lift Us Up, because the song was Love Lift Us Up, Love Lift Us Up where we belong. So they reworked the song, and they did Lord Lift Us Up, and that was what really broke them. And so my dad did that. And so my dad was writing the music for this play called Don't Get God Started. It was an off-Broadway show. And I was just hanging out with my dad. My mom used to send me to work with my dad because I just had a lot of energy, you know. I did. I think I had asthma as a kid, and I used to take the asthma pump and shit. And I think the steroids used to just make me hype. But thank God for albuterol.
Mama needed a break. Mama had 2 other kids. Mama needed a break. Mama Shay was not playing with you, and she was tired of whooping you. So you had to go with Daddy for a little while because my mama needed a break.
Hey, good things happen when you allow a child to hang out with their father from time to time, I guess.
What's this new thing you doing where you playing James Brown, bro?
So, once again, shout out to Robbie Reed, arguably one of the greatest casting directors in Hollywood. I get a call, and they're like, they want you to play James Brown. One of the few times that I haven't had to read for a role to prove myself. Which was crazy because I'm like, well, don't you guys want to see if I can even do this?
Right. No, everybody knows you can do that.
No, but for real though, babe, you know this. I mean, that's a tough one. That dude, and it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done because, you know, JB was Mr.
Wow.
Dynamite.
He was wild.
Oh my God!
If somebody has met you, and I don't mean wild in a bad way, but I mean like energetic, who's gonna slide across the stage? Who is gonna do something that we don't actually have scripted right here on the paper? Who is gonna whip off that cape and really embody it? Baby, that's gonna be you. I'm with Robbie.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Robbie went in the room, Robbie read this, and Robbie said, who can embody this character? I don't know nobody but Darius.
Well, let me say this though, because I think Chadwick played him one time, and but when I saw the picture that you posted, and I'm like, and I'm not just saying it because you're on the show, but you really look like James, and I was like, damn, like you really embodied that.
Man, well, you know, man, I mean, that's what my goal is. Whenever I do anything, whenever I take on any role, man, that is my goal, is to make sure that I embody that character, man. I mean, especially when you're playing an icon, when you're playing James Brown, when you're playing Muhammad Ali, you know, you can't miss a beat with those guys, man. And you have a duty to do just the justice that they did by us.
Right.
I'm gonna say that.
When does it come out?
That's coming out May 2nd. It'll be out. And what's cool about that is my birthday's May 1st. May 2nd, it comes out on Show BET, and James Brown's birthday is May 3rd.
Damn.
Synchronicity, man, and alignment. You know, and that's what I really believe in, man, when it comes to any of this stuff that we're doing, man. It's all about synchronicity and alignment, man. And I think that if we focus more on that, you know, we would find ourselves in position to create more greatness. Because we grew up in an era, man, where this stuff was great. It wasn't just, you know, somebody running around with a camera. It wasn't an ultra low budget SAG project. You know, it wasn't. It was well thought out. It was well planned, and we were blessed to have been able to experience content that has shaped generations and shaped culture. You know, and Cherie, you know, and I were blessed to be a part of those projects that shape culture and generation, you know, and generations, you know. So I pray that we'll go back to more of that. You know, that's part of the reason why it's so important to me to be a content provider and a producer. Cherie knows she's produced some great projects, and she continues to produce, and you know, she's a woman that is not waiting on anybody to hand her anything.
It takes too long.
They do take too long.
This is Cherie's World.
Podcast. I'm here to put you up on a little bit of game. I need y'all to support this independent, positive music artist. That's right, something you can play in front of the kids. Her name is legendary A.T. Terry. And her music is available on iTunes, Google, Amazon Music, Spotify, and more. You can follow her on Facebook at Legendary AT or on Twitter at LegendaryAT1. She got something for everybody.
But before we talk about monogamies, I want to talk about that before you go. I got to talk about another character that you completely embodied, another man who I had a crush on, Gerald Levert.
Wow.
That was Howard story. Like that.
Yeah, that hit home. That really did. That was something serious. Because, you know, Mickey is one of my greatest mentors, my greatest teachers, musically, and her and Gerald had a really beautiful, but difficult relationship. And Gerald was a really good friend of mine. And so originally I was supposed to play Mickey's father.
Really?
Clay Graham, the legendary Clay Graham, amazing gospel singer Clay Graham, but they didn't put his character in the movie, and so I was really disappointed. And I said, "Well, I guess I won't be able to be in the movie, Mickey." And she said, "No, you're gonna play Gerald." And I said, "Huh?"
Man, but you look just like him, though, bro.
Once again, though, you know, I gained as much weight as I could because, you know, again, in this day and age, in this era, we don't, especially on black productions, we don't get the time to prepare. We don't get the time to put into that a lot of these mainstream productions get, you know. So this was one of my first opportunities to be a part of such a production, and kudos. Please.
Can I ask you a question? When you say, I heard people say they lose weight for a role, how do you really gain weight for a role? Like, what'd you do? What was the process for that?
Well, you know, man, I just doubled up on meals. I doubled up on protein powder. I stopped working out as far as the cardio was concerned. If I did work out, it was all weight, heavy weights, you know. And so I just kind of shifted things, you know, a little bit. You know, I'm me being the age that I am, you know. I mean, I don't know if you guys see it, but I post a lot of my workout videos. I'm really, really about fitness. I'm really about being fit for life, no matter what state I'm in, you know, state or state of mind.
He will leave you early in the morning, come back and cook breakfast. That's how I know he came back from working out. I'd be like, he gets up and gets out. He don't play when it comes to his body. He'll disappear in the middle of the day. You're like, you worked out this morning. I'm going to see my sensei.
Yeah, I saw you work out at UFC gym a lot, huh?
Yeah, I do. I'm about that life, man. This is just a different workout, man. You know, and you know, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of the stuff that a lot of the principles they get, they a lot of those principles were derived from a lot of the black martial arts masters, Sensei Thomas Bowman, Sensei Kreger Smith, Steve Sanders, you know, Frank Nitti. A lot of these black martial artists, man, that don't get the credit. The BKF, Black Karate Foundation, you know, and
come to the set and find him.
yes, Grandmaster Hugh McDonald, rest in peace. Grandmaster H.G. McDonald, you know, who trained Bob Marley, and these guys worked out a lot with Bruce Lee and a lot of the greats. A lot of those UFC principles and a lot of the bodies in motion principles they got from these black men. You know, we don't get too much credit for a lot of what we do, and if we do, it's talked about, but you know, it's not really celebrated. So I want to celebrate those men. You know, so that's what's kept me together. Yeah.
Okay, I only got 10 more minutes with you. Now, I am on Instagram, right? And I look on Instagram and I'm like, who the hell is Darius kissing? Then I looked up and said, oh, it's Chrissy Ferris. Oh my God. So I'm all excited, like, you're kissing my homegirl. And then I look up and I'm like, oh my God, what is this show? Wesley Jonathan? Monogamy? I need to know what is going on with monogamy. Where can we see it? When can we see it? Like, you know how to watch TV. But I'm gonna binge watch because I need to see what's going on with y'all. I love you guys, all of you.
It looks
Yeah,
hot.
yeah. We love you, baby. You know that. God, we need to have you come on this show. That's what we need to figure out. So talk to Craig. This is Craig Ross Jr.'s Monogamy. Craig and Karen.
Yes, and Karen is the homegirl.
Yes, exactly.
So
Yes.
proud.
Y'all, yeah. They created this show. It was originally written as a feature piece, and today is all about proof of concept. And they brilliantly created this thing where there are 4 couples in dire marital straits. So they enter into this program called the Experiment, where you swap spouses. But the spouse swap works better for you than the original marriage you were in, then you can choose to stay in the swap if the grass is greener. And so, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's too much. Too much.
So, yeah. So, Christy's my wife, but my swap is Karen, and her character is Cherie. Christy is Deandra. Wesley and Jill Marie Jones are married, but the swap is Vanessa Simmons, and her swap was Blue Kimmel was her husband, who swapped to Jill. And then there was Brian, who was married to Karen's character. Yeah.
Brian White.
So Brian White, yeah, and his swap was Christy.
Oh my
and
God.
So, yeah.
Like, I'm serious. This is a real reaction. Oh my God.
Yeah. So we're going back to the 3rd season on UMC, Urban Movie Channel, and that's where you can watch it as of now. And so yeah, we'll be back doing that. We're doing the 3rd season. We're going to be filming that in New Mexico. So I'm really excited. The Land of Enchantment. So I'm really excited. It's a great show. Karen, Craig Ross Jr., Karen. I love to see Black power couples doing things and working together. He's an amazing director and producer. And they brought us on. And what's really cool about it is they actually allow us to produce. Craig and I have a great relationship. And I love producing. I love working with people who respect your opinion as a creator, but even respect your knowledge and your your experience as a producer. So it's really cool that we get to come together and work. It's kind of like going away to camp, and making some magic happen. We got a really cool crew. And a really great cast. I'm looking forward to doing that.
Congratulations on your 3rd season. I'm excited for you, but for the whole cast. Like, you have a great cast, and I'm geeked up for all you guys. You guys deserve it.
Nah, it's cool. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great energy, with us working together. We got some really great surprises coming up this 3rd season, and it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Yeah.
What else you want us to know?
I got this thing I'm working on with this group, this music group called Heritage Music Group. It's headed up by Javon Dawkins, Eric Dawkins, Anson Dawkins, from Dawkins and Dawkins. And they wrote songs like Lately, Sweet Lady, produced Tank, Fantasia, Jamie Foxx. These guys have done a lot of great things. It's a great music group. And so I got something that I'm cooking up for you guys, because you guys know, I'm one of the OGs with collaborations. The Tracy Spencer thing, that was me, being a fan of Tracy Spencer, and the show made it happen. Shanice, that was me being a fan of Shanice, and and I wrote the song called "You're the One," which you guys watched on Family Matters. So I'm huge on collaborations, especially music collaborations. And so this has really been cool to be able to work with these guys. We worked with Prince's music director, former music director, Andrew Goucher, who also was one of those guys that watched me grow up because I was gregarious and had an inquiring mind. And in the sessions with my daddy, I'd be running around. And so Andrew Goucher is on this song we did. And so we working on something, and I'm not gonna confirm it tonight when it's gonna happen, but you're gonna see Morris Day and some real cool things happening.
Right. I love Morris Day.
Have you heard? I got a brand new dance. It's called The Bird.
I love it.
I love you, baby.
I love you too. Go ahead, Courtney. I'm
All
so sad. Like, I'm looking at the clock. Like, how is it almost over?
All right, I promise I won't make this long. But I used to do another show. Actually, I met you on the other show, and we used to do this segment called. At first, I wasn't going to bring this over here to Cherie's World, but last week Cherie let me interview a porn star, so I figure anything goes after that. So
sounds like fun.
Porn star. He interviewed Suave, dude.
Oh, okay. That's Big Brother.
Yes.
Okay, ex-porn. Yeah. Well, we used to do this segment called "Who Ain't Got No Bitches," and what we did was we would compare. Like one time, we would battle it out between Drake and Future, like who done smashed the most. So what I want to do real quick, and I'm gonna make it real quick, we're gonna compare Eddie Winslow versus Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Because now I'm gonna tell you something, Eddie Winslow is the smash.
No, when you say it, you gotta say Eddie Winslow. When you talking about that, when you talk about that component of the Winslow character, that's Eddie Winslow.
I just spilled stuff on me.
Eddie, now look, Fresh Prince smashed a girl named Monique that was played by Kim Fields. He smashed another girl that was played by Tisha Campbell, Jasmine Guy, Leela Rashawn, Nia Long, Stacey Dash, Elise Neal. Now, the difference between Eddie Winslow, what I think put Eddie Winslow on top was Eddie Winslow actually had Shanice and Tracy Spencer. He didn't have Tracy Spencer's playing somebody else. He actually had Tracy Spencer.
You had Tammy Townsend. Didn't you have Vivica A. Fox? Didn't you have Garcelle Dublavay?
He had Elise Neal. Hey, but you had some low-key ones, though, who I had crushes on. The girl that played Darlene. Her name was Kimberly Russell.
Yeah, Kimberly Russell, yes.
And one of my favorites, Danielle Nicolette.
Oh, yes.
She played Vonda.
Yes. Now I'm gonna tell you this. So I'm gonna give you guys a really funny story. So there's a young lady named Shannon Mingale, who recently wrote a book about Michael Jackson. Because she actually dated Michael and worked with Michael. They had a relationship for years, and so Shayna was on the show, and so I always fancied the fair sex, and I'm a Mac, so I'm gonna shoot my shot, every once in a while, and we're young, and so we used to call Shayna Michael's girl, and so Shayna came back from lunch, and Michael was a dear friend of mine as well, and she told me, she said, Darius, she said, I got to tell you, I got a message from Michael for you. And I said, oh yeah? He said, to tell you, the doggone girl is mine.
You know what? It's so funny that you mentioned her. Somebody talked to me about bringing her on, and I have not read the book, and I was scared. I was like, I don't know if I want to touch that.
I think that you should talk to Shane. I mean, she's done so much as an actress and being around in her years. I mean, she Shane, and she's a wonderful person. And I think that that's a relationship that she should expose as much as she can. A lot of people. I was talking with Shane, and not only was she good friends with Michael, and not good friends, they dated, but she was good. I meant to say good friends with Christoph, who we lost, and and Brighton, so I think that would be real cool. She's got some great stories that would give people some serious and proper insight to who Michael really, really was, who we knew.
I like you saying it like that. That makes me not so nervous. Darius, I hate that our time has run out.
Oh, baby, this ain't the last time. It's just the first time.
It better not be the last time you're
Yeah, I
here.
like your style, bro.
Hey, appreciate
Darius,
you, man. Right on, brother.
really quickly,
Yes, love.
Instagram. Every time I give you a shout out, Instagram attacks. And they're like, I don't know. How do we answer these people who want to know, how would you describe our relationship? Because they always ask me, well, what's really going on? And I'm like, I thought I laid it out.
It ain't none of your business with me and my boo-doo.
There you go. I mean, I think I lay it out for them, but I guess I start rumors and I don't know.
Some things are just forever meant to be, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And you know, we don't have to speak on family matters. What's understood don't need to be explained.
There you go.
Amen.
Well, hey, let me just say this: quality over quantity. Eddie Winslow won over between Eddie Winslow and Fresh Prince. You taught me that, bro.
Hey, man, I think Will Smith was going to try to bury me for another 10 years. After hearing about this one. Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
Hey, you're hilarious, man.
Right on.
Thank you so much for being here, Darius. I love you.
I love you.
See, Courtney, now you get to understand why that is the love of my life. Like, have we ever had a guest on and I blushed so fucking much?
Nah.
It'll probably never happen again.
I like
until
that.
he comes back.
Welcome to Cherie's World.
Brought to you by Less is More Events. Get Lime.